right, third grade, you are going to be doing some zentangling today. We're going to actually create some leaves. So you will have zentangle inside of your leaves and behind your leaves. So we'll have a foreground and a background. You will do 2 of these. We're going to fold our paper in half, so you'll have 2 of these leaves. You also have a little guide sheet. I've printed some of these off for you. These are very, very simple step-by-step leaves that you can do. You can pick any of these 2. So you can pick your favorite 2, and that's what you can put on your paper. All right, so the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to fold your paper in half. Okay, so we need it folded in half, hamburger. So you will fold your paper in half. All right, so you have one side for one of your zentangles and leaves and one side for the other. You're actually going to use different color Sharpies today. So I've got all these really cool different color Sharpies you get to use. But I think we're going to trace the leaf out in black, though. I just think that looks really sharp. So I'll probably have some of these thick black markers for you to actually go ahead and draw your leaf with. So I think I'm going to do, let's see, I did that shape and that shape. Maybe I want to do, I'll just do a simple leaf here. All right, so I'm going to come here. I think I'm just going to do this one right here. It's simply just a straight line down the center. I think that's how you're going to start all of them. You're just going to do a kind of a curved line, and I'm just going to do a thin, just like that. All right, perfect. And I think I want it going upside down, so I think I'm going to do my little veins this way. All right, so here's what's important. You need to go ahead and close it off, though, because we need sections to do our zentangling. So however you do your lines, that's perfectly fine, but you need closed sections. So just make sure that it's closed. All right, and then I think maybe on this side, I don't know, I kind of like this one, so I think I'm going to do that one there. So I'm going to do a curved line. And I'm just going to bring that, let's see, and maybe I want to do that, and maybe I want to do that. And these are going to be a little bit smaller zentangles, but that's okay, it'll work. All right, so this is where you get to choose any color Sharpies you want. You could even do it all one color, does not matter. Or you can do each little section in different colors. That is totally up to you. All right, so when we zentangle, all we're doing is we are doing the same exact. If you notice, I have this little closed shape right here. It almost looks like a triangle. All I'm doing is following that until I just can't follow it anymore. Just like that. So instead of coloring it, I'm just putting a line, and I'm following the lines that I have here until I just can't follow it. Again, I'm going to follow that line. See the black line? I'm going to follow it, follow it, follow it, follow it all the way. And if you notice, it starts getting smaller and smaller. And I'm going to do this with every single one of my sections. Now remember, the more lines, the closer you are, the better it's going to look. We're going to do this with every single section. See how it's just getting smaller and smaller? You're going to do this with every section. All right, so maybe I want, now again, I've got a section here. Now these are going to be kind of small. They're really small sections. I'm just going to follow that little shape until I just can't follow it anymore. Follow it. Follow it all the way to the center. I'm following it all the way to the center. And I'm going to do this. These are very tiny sections, so you may want to, maybe you don't want your sections this small. Maybe you want to make yours a little bit bigger. Maybe you want them more like that. All right, you're going to do this with every one of your leaves. All right, and so then we are going to zentangle around the leaf. And all you're doing, I want you to just look at this rectangle right here. I am following this rectangle until it gets smaller and smaller. And again, the closer you are to the line, the better it's going to look. If it is way far apart, it's going to look more like spider webs. And if you curve them, that's okay. You can kind of curve. We did this when we zentangled. We did curved. You can kind of curve them. So this is where you have to have an imagination. Because look, I've got that leaf in the way, but I'm just going to pretend like I've got my marker over it, and I'm going to go on down. Here we go. Uh-oh. I'm going to pretend. I'm going to lift my Sharpie. And I'm just going to keep doing the same thing. Here I go. I'm going to lift my Sharpie. Lift. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is where you have to have a really good imagination. And you got to know when to lift your Sharpie up. And here, and oh, I run out of room there. Run out of room there. Done there. And I can probably do it one more time there. All right, and so this is what you're going to have. You're going to do the same thing to the other side. All right, so I was going to show you how I have to use my imagination. Here I go. Uh-oh, I got to lift my Sharpie. Uh-oh. There's where I would go. There's where I would go. There I go. And this is how you do this part. You just have to use your imagination on where your next line would go if you didn't have to lift your marker. Because the leaf is in the way. Now you would be doing this much slower than I am. I'm doing this kind of fast. Sometimes those lines end up curving, and that's okay. That's actually a really pretty look. But do you see how I'm lifting, pretending like I'm going through it? And you're going to do this all the way to the center of the paper. Oh, that's really cool. All right, so when you're done, you should have something that looks about like this. Make sure you put your caps back on your Sharpies. And actually, I prefer them upside down in the containers because the ink will fall, gravity will pull the ink to the bottom. Okay, have fun. If you want, you can actually add a dark, thick line to separate the two. If you want to do that or go back and make these lines a little thicker, you can do that as well, just to make it kind of pop out. All right, have fun.